how are you? Happy Monday. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day today. Happy start of your week, you know. So today's video, we are going to be doing a really kind of old school tag. First of all, if you like the eyeshadow that I'm wearing right now, that's very presumptuous of me to assume that you like it. But if you do, I have a tutorial Tuesday going live on this look tomorrow. I just filmed it so you can see how I created this eye look if you're interested in recreating it yourself. I know you guys tend to really like those, so I've been starting to do it before I film, so that way there's already a tutorial filmed. So today we are doing kind of a stereotypical tag. This is the YouTube made me buy it tag. I realized I never really have done anything like this before. I definitely did the full face of products Beauty Gurus made me buy over a year ago. And I have some new stuff. It's not too much stuff, because a lot of the stuff that I buy, either you guys have recommended it to me or I'm just constantly on Trend Mood and Sephora, so I see everything that's happening. But these are a few products that I feel specifically I bought because of the YouTube hype, and we're just gonna go through them. So the first thing I want to talk about is just Blush Tribe in general. This is the Malika palette. I received it for Christmas. This is one of their older palettes. I also have the Fall Fusion, but it is discontinued and I feel bad using it. But this palette is beautiful. However, I never, ever would have known about Blush Tribe if it was not for my friends on YouTube and just YouTube in general. I know Angelica talked about them a lot, Lacey from Spooky Lips and Fat Hips talked about them a lot, and I kind of feel like they've been everywhere, and the FOMO I had about never trying their palettes was real. It was super real. I was super FOMO about not trying their palettes, so I'm really happy I got this for Christmas and the Fall Fusion one. Overall, I actually really like these palettes. I think they're really good. My only thing is, and I know that people who aren't in America are gonna be like,
oh, poor you, American, who has to pay shipping once. That's super expensive.
But I do think when you add shipping onto these palettes, I'm not sure how much they are worth it, just because the shipping is kind of a lot to get here. The palettes themselves I think are pretty reasonably priced, maybe a little expensive, but I do think they have a lot of sales. I know they had the Hasina 2, which is the green and purple one, on sale for the next day or something like that, and it was half off. It was $12.99. That's a super good deal. So watch for their sales, because I think that's a good time to pick these up. But I think the palettes are really pretty. I really like them. I've not been disappointed by a Blush Tribe palette. The two that I have, I've not been disappointed. Next thing, we're just kind of going in random order here, is the Bobbi Brown Face Face. I feel like this took over YouTube for a minute, and I'd never heard of it because it was kind of an older product when everyone started talking about it. Oh my god, it smells so good. I freaking love this primer. I remember so many people talked about it. I feel like every YouTuber ever started just randomly, I don't know if maybe they all got sponsored, if there's a conspiracy going on, I don't know. But every YouTuber ever randomly was just obsessed with this Bobbi Brown primer. And I was like, I have to try that. And then I went online and I went to Sephora and I looked at it and it was $60. And I was like, that's a lot. But I got it during the 20% off sale and I have not regretted it. I really love this primer. I want to conserve it. I know that sounds crazy because it's so expensive you just want to use it, but I only use it on days where I need my skin to look amazing in person, because I just love it and I don't want to have to rebuy it anytime soon. So I don't typically use this for just average filming days. I use this when I need my skin to look flawless. That's what I saved this bad boy for, because it's so good. But this definitely was one I never would have heard of or known about if it wasn't for YouTube. I never would have thought to get this, you know what I mean? Another thing that definitely YouTube made me buy, and you guys made me buy, is the Hourglass Stick Vanishing Foundation. This is another one that I got for Christmas, and I mean, I love it. I hate that I love it so much. I don't think I'll rebuy this when I run out of it, because I think there are other stick foundations out there that are significantly cheap. The one I'm wearing today is the ColourPop one, and I love the ColourPop one. I think there are a lot of foundations out there that are better than this. Not even better, just similar quality. However, I do think this is fantastic. I do think it's really good. I understand the hype surrounding this because it does blend beautifully and it does kind of give you your skin but better, but still being full coverage without being too cakey. It gives you all of those things. I still don't think for the price. Here's the thing, the price itself I'm not super shook by. It's the amount of product you get. If they were to give you more product, because how much is even in here? It's 0.25, yeah, 0.25 ounces. The amount of product you get for the price I think is absolutely ridiculous and I don't think is worth it. But I do think that the foundation itself is beautiful. But I think if you like this, you should maybe try something like the Makeup Revolution Stick Foundation, because it, to me, similar formulas, the Makeup Revolution one, maybe a little bit cakier and you can't use as much of to get a full coverage. You might have to use it a little bit more sparingly, but I do like this. basically, is the tea on this. Like, I like it. I still think it's absolutely ridiculous to charge that much for this much product. This is like a sample size. Like, that's ridiculous. The next thing YouTube made me buy is this Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. Everybody loves the foundation. I used to love the foundation. I don't love it anymore. For whatever reason, I don't know if I changed or it changed or like what happened between us. It used to be my ride or die foundation, and then one day I put it on and I looked terrible, and I've never looked good wearing it since. So that's not really my thing anymore. However, I always heard that their Born This Way, their original Born This Way concealer was like actually not very good, like not the best. So when I heard of them coming out with this, the multi-use sculpting concealer, I was kind of like, well, they already have a Born This Way concealer, so I'm confused. I love this. I think the hype surrounding this was real. I think it was Tarte Shape Tape that everybody freaked out about for like 2 years. And I always thought Tarte Shape Tape was just okay. I'm very wary when beauty gurus go crazy over complexion products, because what they like and what they think looks amazing is what looks good on camera and for pictures, because that's what their primary purpose of putting on makeup is for a camera or for pictures, which does matter to me too. But I also wear makeup in the world, and people like flashback powders I don't really care about that if I'm wearing it to school, because the paparazzi aren't waiting outside of my school taking pictures of me that I need to be worried about flashback. However, I think they had it right with this one, because it is full coverage without being too creasy or cakey, which is really difficult to find in a concealer, especially if you have problematic under eyes like I do. My only thing with this is it's a little bit too full coverage sometimes. Like, I think you don't always need necessarily this much coverage, but this is perfect for me because on days where I don't wear foundation and I just wear a concealer, this is typically what I grab for, because it gives me still kind of full coverage in the areas I need it, but it's not like full coverage on top of a full coverage foundation, because that can sometimes be too much, in my opinion, for what I like to wear makeup as. However, I really love this, and I would rebuy this. I know it's kind of expensive at $29, but I would still rebuy this. The next thing YouTube definitely made me buy is MAC Peaches, and I am so glad that they did. I saw James Charles and Gabrielle Zamora.
I saw James Charles and Gabrielle Zamora wearing army pants and flip-flops, so I wear army pants and flip-flops.
No, I saw James Charles and Gabrielle Zamora both shout out this blush basically within the span of 2 days, and I was like, I don't have any MAC blushes, and because I kind of get intimidated by MAC sometimes, I think, because number one, I don't really have a store near me, so when I go in, I have to kind of like, I'm usually rushed because it's like we're on a vacation and my family doesn't want to wait for me. And second of all, like, I just kind of felt like MAC is overwhelming because there's so many options, like there's so many colors and there's so much, like they have such very wide and vast ranges of colors that I never really knew, like if I were to get a blush like this, what color I would even start with. And they both recommended Peaches, and I was like, you know, Gabrielle Zamora, he's very tan, you know, and like I get pretty tan, and James Charles is pretty pale, and I'm pretty pale sometimes too. My skin kind of changes colors depending on the season, because in the summer I get very tan. So I was like, maybe this blush will work for me kind of year round. This is legitimately my favorite blush, but this and Milani's Luminoso are two of my all-time favorite blushes. If you aren't on my channel a lot, you know that. It's sad because I feel like you can't see how much I've used it, but I've used it so much. Like, I've literally used the crap out of this, and it's still not, the top is broken currently. Like, it literally popped out on one of my trips and I had to pop it back in. It's such a good blush. I love it so much. It is the perfect color for me. Like, it's literally when I'm tan or when I'm fair, this is the perfect color for me. I think it's the perfect peachy pinky blush that you could get, and I like MAC's blush formula a lot after using this. It's very long lasting and beautiful. So this is, I mean, fantastic. I love that. The next thing I wanted to shout out are Benefit brow products, just in general. I feel like all of those influencers went on a trip to Necker Island or wherever they went. Benefit took them there. They were there for a week. All I saw was Benefit, 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 and then I wanted to buy all of their brow products, and I bought a bunch of them. I've decluttered a bunch since then. I actually hated their brow pomade. I think it was the Gimme Brow is what it's called. I hated that. It was crumbly and a mess, and I ended up decluttering it because it was very bad. However, I do like their brow, like, pencils. I haven't tried the powders. I've tried the gel and I like it. It's fine. I like other gels that are much cheaper, like the Essence Gimme Brow. Those are two ones that I think are much more affordable instead of the Benefit one that I think do the same thing. I do like their brow pencils. I like both the Goof Proof and the Precisely My Brow. I think both of these pencils are phenomenal. They're really good. However, again, I just feel like Benefit is overpriced because these pencils are, this one is specifically is the Precisely My Brow is $24, I believe, and the ABH Brow Wizzes are like $20. So I'm gonna save $4 and go go ABH. You know what I mean? Like, they're just slightly overpriced for the market that they're in, because personally, I don't think there's a difference between this and the Anastasia Brow Wiz. I think they're basically the same. So I think if you want to save $4, just get the ABH one. And also, allegedly, there's a NYX brow pencil that's a dupe for the Anastasia one, which means it's a dupe for this one, and that one's $10. So if you want to save $14, go get the NYX one. So while I think these are good and while I enjoy them, I don't think they're worth the money, basically. I had to drag this one out. It's dirty and she's old and she's been through it, but the Anastasia ABH Modern Renaissance I only purely bought because I actually remember looking at this and being like, why are people freaking out about that? That's not even cute. Like, those aren't even cool colors. Like, I would never wear these colors because I only wore gold. This was like when I was first starting out in makeup, but man, I love this palette. I mean, it's beautiful. I was trying to pan it last year. It didn't go well. I don't like panning. I've decided panning is not my thing. However, I do think this is just beautiful. Like, it's such pretty shades, beautiful formula, blends like a dream. Like, I'm obsessed with it. I think it's, every time I open this, I get a little spark of joy because it really is such an OG, like, classic. And it's like a staple, I feel, in the makeup community. Yeah, I'm happy YouTube made me buy this. I'm happy all the hype was surrounding this, that I felt the need. I have serious FOMO about everything in life. It's also ripped, which I'm really sad about. It, like, broke, kind of. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this thing ripped off. I have serious FOMO about everything in life, so makeup especially, and this one gave me severe FOMO, and I'm glad it did because I love it. The next thing is, I wish I'd never bought this. The Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palette. It looks like this. I mean, it's pretty and the glow is nice. Kind of like a glow from within, faint type of glow. I just don't use it, and I paid so much money for it, and I don't use it. I don't. A lot of people said you can use it to set your under eyes, and I don't do that because I don't like the way it looks on me personally. Luminous setting powders don't look great on me. They emphasize all of the texture in my under eyes, so that's not really a thing for me. I know I mentioned in Declutter that I don't like using this because I don't like them as highlighters, and everyone was like,
You're so small-minded. Think outside the box and use that.
I'm like,
I don't like it. It doesn't look good.
this one is a sad one for me. I keep it because I spent so much money on it, and I just want to force myself to use it sometimes, but I haven't used it in a while. But YouTube made me buy this for sure because all of the beauty influencers were like, Hourglass, 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 and I was like, what is this? What is this? It's expensive. I don't know if I want it. And then I saw this in person and I was like, oh my god, it's beautiful, and like, what a value, because these little lighting powders alone are like $80 by themselves, so what a value it is for $64. And then it was just like a mess. So all right, the next thing I bought because of a specific YouTuber actually was Robbie DeChristie, and I remember she did a tutorial on her channel where she showed her like everyday glam, like she recreated this glam makeup look, and she looked stunning. Like, the look was beautiful, and she used this Tarte chrome paint in Top Yacht, and I went out and bought it the next day, like, because she put it on her eyes, and I was like, that is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen ever. They don't swatch well. Like, I feel like you can't really see on swatch. It's more of a, like, you have to pat it on with your finger, but these are stunning, stunning. Such a good formula. I also have it in Frosé, and I feel like a lot of brands are now copying this specific formula because I've seen other brands putting out things that are similar to this. It's in the same little pot. I know Marc Jacobs did, Natasha Denona did. This is my favorite though, and it's a reasonable, it's kind of a lot. It's a lot. Like, it's like $22, which is a lot for a top coat, but I use the crap out of this one specifically, the Top Yacht. And also, it's a ton of product. You're getting 3 grams of product, which is actually like a lot for an eye, I feel. And you don't go through it quickly at all. It definitely lasts a long time. I think this is beautiful, and I'm so happy Robbie DeChristie talked me into this because I love this. I use this very frequently, and this is something I always bring when I'm traveling because it looks great over just if you're just doing like a neutral eye during the day, but then you have to kind of glam it up for the nighttime. This is perfect for that because you just pat it right over, done, ba-boom. Beautiful. Next thing I feel YouTube and you guys made me buy is the Hourglass Veil Setting Powder. First of all, every YouTuber was talking about how this is like the most beautiful powder on the planet. It is good. And all of you guys, I made a video where I mentioned like wanting this, and all of you guys freaked out, and you guys were like, you have to get it, you have to get it. So I bought it. I do like this powder. I think it's nice. I get why people like it. I don't think it's like life-changing. I don't think it's like the powder. I won't rebuy it when I run out of it. But I have very problematic under eyes, and I feel like I'm very picky about setting powders that I actually like and that work for me. The only one I have found so far that like actually works for me every single time is the Too Faced Peachy Setting Powder. That's the only one. I don't know why, it's so random, but for whatever reason, that formula always makes my under eyes look amazing. This works and it's nice, but it's just not like my ride or die. You know what I mean? It's okay. It's good. good. It's fine, but it's not like the best thing on the planet. Does that make sense? To me, it's just another gold highlighter. I know people really hype this up as being like the best gold highlighter on the market, and I just don't think that's the case. I think there are a lot of gold highlighters that I really like. I love Ofra's Rodeo Drive. J-Cat Beauty has a really beautiful gold one. Wet n Wild has the gold bar that's still kind of floating. I know it was like limited edition, but I find it floating around everywhere. I think these Amrezy highlighters are beautiful though. Really pretty, nice. I don't regret purchasing it necessarily, but I definitely don't think this is like deserving all of the hype that it got, if that makes sense. It's pretty though, it is good. Okay, next we have a MAC lipstick. This is in the shade Velvet Teddy. I really just bought this because I felt like I wouldn't be an official Beauty Guru YouTuber until I got this MAC lipstick. It is pretty, and I do like the formula of MAC lipsticks. Kind of reignited my love for bullet lipsticks because I would use this and I just really liked the way it looked. It was a nice creamy formula. I do think MAC lipsticks are a tad expensive for what they are because I love the Maybelline lipsticks. I think they're really, really, really good. And I also like the Bite Beauty lipsticks, but those are also kind of expensive. But this one is just, I mean, it's good. I feel like I kind of bought it because I felt like I had to. Like, I felt like it was like a rite of passage into Beauty Guru land if you had a MAC lipstick. And this is the only one I own. This is still the only MAC lipstick I own because I've never like actively fallen in love. It's the thing with MAC too, is like their color selection is just so vast that I feel overwhelmed picking out like a color from them. I knew Velvet Teddy was a popular one, so that's the one I got, but I just felt like overwhelmed. Does that make sense? The final thing that I felt like I had to buy from YouTube, that YouTube made me buy, was the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow palette. It looks like this. I saw this in everybody's declutter and everybody was like, it's the best thing ever. You'll never find anything better than this contour highlight palette. I really do like the contour shade. I feel like the highlighting shade is useless because it's supposed, I thought it was like an under eye powder, but it's actually like a highlighter, but it has no glow to it. But I love the contour shade. I think the contour shade is great. However, because of the $70 price tag, I'm a little miffed that I feel like this should also be phenomenal, and it's not. Contour shade, really like though. But yeah, I saw this in everyone's declutter and I just had so much FOMO because nobody was getting rid of it. And I was like, nobody's getting rid of this, so it must be great. That was my mindset on that, but yeah. I don't know. So that's basically all of the products that I could find that YouTube made me buy and that I felt the pressure to buy because of YouTube. I hope you guys liked this video. I know it was a little Monday randomness, but tomorrow I'll have the tutorial going live for this look, and then Wednesday I have a really fun video planned, so that'll be great. I love you guys so much. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, or just like, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're watching me. Thank you for being here. I love you guys so, so much. My merch, my social media, everything I'm wearing on my face, and other fun stuff will be linked down below. And yeah, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!